thanks for joining us in this particular show, Mr. Hanu. Absolutely. So, you know, I must say this from the introduction that I've given in right now, and the fact that you are 25 years old, seated right here, running a multi-billion naira company, it's simply, in one word, an inspiration. And my question to you is this: what drives you?
Well, I simply want to do the most, literally. You know, so I think many years ago, I came across the Nelson Mandela quotes, where he said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life that is less than what you could have lived." And that struck a chord. And since then, I tried to do the most in whatever, no matter how little the tax is, and you know, it adds up, and it just gets me going, basically. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And of course, you know, we have had, let me call them forefathers who can really inspire us in such a way.
Yeah.
You know, I first of all like your jersey, and I hope I can get one of it. It's written Patricia right there. And, you know, before we even get into understanding who Patricia is, I'd want to ask you the question of why matters fintech and why that area?
Well, at the time when I got into the fintech industry, it was not as huge as it is now. It was basically, for me back then, it was a very brilliant idea that nobody was building, and I saw so much opportunity. I particularly liked the idea of Bitcoin. Yeah, because it was something new, fresh, exciting.
Absolutely.
It was decentralized, and it just caught my attention. And that's basically why I decided to go into it and see how far I can take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, even as we are having this particular session, this particular week, we are really looking to learn as well. I must confess as well, I'm also on the learning seat to get to understand. And I think the hunger is what drives what you're saying as a conversation to grow. So, you know, see you at 22. So, and I know that's in itself as an inspiration, but let me just drive in from the label that I can read, Patricia. First of all, before you get to tell us about the company, the name. When I heard about Patricia, I said, wow, that's an interesting name. What inspired the name, first of all?
Well, the first thing was this effect. The wow effects. Like, how did I get this name, or why Patricia? Okay. So first thing was I was going for a name that would make people ask this question. Put Patricia in conversation just for free press, basically. But the backstory to Patricia is in 2015, I got Bitcoin for the first time. And I looked around, you know, so this is why I formed Patricia in the first place, right? I looked around, and there was literally no place to trade this this currency for naira. Nowhere in the entire Africa, Nigeria. I looked everywhere, literally. Only international companies, and they were not at the time servicing Africa. So I ended up going on some forum, and I got scammed of the Bitcoin, and it hurt me, because if I had that Bitcoin now,
it would be something else.
It would be another story, literally. So at the time, I realized that if I got scammed, some other people are getting scammed. So I like to think of ideas as not isolated, right? That we all drink water, we all use cars, we all breathe the same oxygen, so we all have the same problems. So it's just about finding a problem with a large enough market, and there you have a business right there.
That's true.
Yeah. So that was why Patricia.
Okay.
So at the time, I was in my granddad's house, and I had a journal where I write all my ideas down, no matter how random. Right, so I write them down in my spare time. I just go back and develop on them and build upon them. So I was writing this idea down, number 37, and I was thinking, what do I call this new idea? Right, and my mom and granddad, they were downstairs. So my mom and granddad, they have this brother-sister hate-love relationship, where they are always fighting. So this time, they were fighting downstairs, very loud, on top of their voices. My mom's name is Patience, but my granddad never calls her Patience. I don't know the backstory to that, but he never calls her Patience. He calls her Patricia. Oh. And they were fighting. She was like, don't call me Patricia, call me Patience. And he's like, I will not call you Patience, I'll call you Patricia. And I was in my room like, okay, Patricia, 37. And that was it right there.
That was the birth of the name Patricia.
That was it.
That's an interesting one. And anyway, the wow effect is really working because I was in the same box as well. So now let's get to the meat of the matter.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, what would you describe as your core mandate now as Patricia, as the company? What are you doing in Africa?
So the first thing we're doing in Patricia is we're trying to usher Africa into the digital age.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. That is our core mandate.
Yeah.
And our tagline in Patricia today is Bitcoin made easy.
Okay.
Because people know about Bitcoin. Like I could stop a random stranger on the streets and he'll say, oh, Bitcoin, yeah, I know Bitcoin. You can make money, you can invest, it goes up, it comes down, you know, just some basic knowledge. But people do not really know how to get into Bitcoin, how to start this journey of financial freedom, basically. Yeah. Right, and that is our primary mandate, to make Bitcoin easy. Yeah. First for Africans, then for the rest of the world. And we've done this in so many ways. So at Patricia, we understand that there's going to be a long transitional phase before the blockchain interfaces with traditional banking infrastructure. Yeah. So we are acting as the bridge. Yeah. That ushers that transition. Okay. Seamlessly. And what we've done is we've put innovation at the forefront. So at Patricia today, we launched Africa's first Bitcoin debit card, where you can literally go to an ATM anywhere in the world and you could literally withdraw your Bitcoin as cash. Wow. Right? So these initiatives are just to make it easy, make it relatable. So if you have Bitcoin, you don't have to always sell it to somebody on the street. Yeah. With your Patricia debit card, you could just online, you could shop online on you can do things with your Bitcoin. We even took it one step further, and we introduced regular daily activities. So on Patricia today, you can pay bills with Bitcoin. You can buy airtime, you can pay for data, you can pay for TV subscriptions, you can buy Netflix gift cards, you can buy Amazon gift cards. So we're basically making the high up there Bitcoin as low as possible. So even a 4-year-old holding the Patricia app would know what to do, would know how to interact with our platform. Okay. And far more than this, right? Bitcoin made easy. Yeah. Everybody wants a piece of Bitcoin, right? But they don't know how to get it. Yeah. So what we did now is yet to launch. So this is a snippet, right? Wow. So we partnered with international players, right? So whenever anybody around the world buys airtime or data or any form of subscription on Patricia today, you're going to be getting a 2% back in Bitcoin. Oh. So instead of using your regular telcos or buying airtime off the street where you pay 100 shilling and you get 100 shilling worth, right? With Patricia, you pay 100 shilling and you get 2% shilling back in cryptocurrency. Okay. So that kind of makes you want to jump on it, and you begin to own a piece of the future. And in time, it begins to accumulate, and before you know it, you have 1,000 shillings that you shouldn't have even had if not using Patricia.
All right. Wow, I love that, and so much, I mean, to give congratulations to on the journey. So my quick question would be this. You know, there has been a statement that says that Matters FinTech Africa is on the lead. I don't know what has been your experience in terms of jumping the hurdles sometimes that are there. Would you say there is a good appetite of Africans taking up this from your own observation and from your own company's point of view?
I think there's a fantastic growth. Wow. It's actually unprecedented, I must tell you. Wow. Right. In Nigeria today, we have over 5 very big crypto services. Yeah. Right. So these companies are basically competition, right? But at the end of the day, it's good for the community. Absolutely. Right. It's good for the African space, and that's what we are here for: to drive inclusion, to drive innovation in Nigeria. So there has been a very large adoption to cryptocurrency. People are getting warmed up to it. It's always in the news now and then. So the only problem we have that's stifling growth today is just regulation. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the only problem we are having, because I always say this, right? Africa can win in cryptocurrency. Yeah. It's not manufacturing. It's not your traditional banking. Yeah. As long as there's internet, there's cryptocurrency. It's not bounded by geography. Yeah. Right? So we just need to better regulations.
Yeah.
Today, Africa is already leading in a worldwide space.
Yeah.
Nigeria is number 2 in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Kenya is on the top 10 list.
Wow.
Right? South Africa is right there. And this was done with literally no support.
Yeah.
Right? This was done with literally nothing. Just people embracing, young people innovating on the space, making it more accessible. With the proper regulation, guidance, and support, we will be number 1, and we can become the SI unit for cryptocurrency in the world.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of hope there, right there. I want to endear you to let us know a little bit of some of the success stories. Of course, you've spoken about some of the challenges that we've seen, and you're not alone, because we have had some other countries as well say, regulation, there's a little bit of stifling. But are there some success stories that you've seen in Patricia, and that are keeping you going and knowing very well that this is a dream that needs to keep on pushing on? For
sure, there are a ton of successes. We have more wins than losses, actually. We have way more wins than losses. Wow. So Patricia, we're 3 years old. We started in 2017, August 16th.
Yeah.
We were just 2 persons, me and Chris. Chris is now the manager at Patricia, the CEO of Patricia.
Yeah.
And we basically started off in a boys' quarter.
Wow.
Literally, in a boys' quarter, and that was it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We pushed on, worked, and it has literally been your typical grass to grace story.
Yeah.
3 years ago we were 2. Now, 3 years after, we are 300 plus.
Wow.
In Patricia. We're in Nigeria, we're in Kenya.
That's a serious growth.
It is. Yeah. And the funny thing is, day by day nothing changes, right? But when you look back, nothing was the same.
Yeah.
I always tell my people, right? It's God's plan. We make the plans, but we cannot plan it.
Yeah.
The growth, the acceptance, the support we love, and the back of it all is the Patricia team, right? We have really fantastic, dedicated people who literally love Patricia, who show up all the time, every time. Absolutely. Even without me asking. I might be in my office randomly trying to solve a problem. Someone just walks in and the person gives me that same solution without me even telling the person, this is my problem. We are so much in sync. Just the idea of the team working towards a common goal, and we are 300, and I can tell you that more than 90% of the Patricia team today, right, has the spirit of doing the most. We have so many wins. The Bitcoin debit card was a massive success. We hit 2018, right? Our goal was to hit 626 transactions, right, before our first year anniversary. And at the time when this goal was set, we were handling 100 transactions. So it seemed almost impossible that we hit that goal. That's true. And so we missed the goal on our anniversary. Yes. But 1 week after, we hit the goal.
Oh, that's good. That's really still the same,
And it was fantastic.
Okay.
Today we handle 6 to 6 transactions in minutes.
Yeah.
The goal of 2 years ago now comes down to every other minute, so it's fantastic.
Let me just shoot this question straight to you. Would you say then that, cryptocurrency, if I may use that word, Bitcoin, is the future or is it the now? What would be your answer?
So I think it's the now and is the future.
Wow.
It's the now because you can see it already happening right before our eyes. So it is already now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it is the future because it has not even scratched its peak.
Yeah.
People think of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and blockchain technology as just finance, but it is far more than finance. Finance is just it's just like 5G.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We have 5G, and basically what we can use 5G is to access the internet faster. But if you can access the internet faster, you can also make robots perform functions faster.
Even faster,
right?
absolutely.
You make things smarter.
Absolutely.
So same thing with the blockchain technology. It can be applied across every industry. Today, you see companies like DHL already using blockchain to replace their traditional infrastructure for logistics.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Healthcare companies,
Wow, I love that ending. You know, you've taken home some awards and amazing, iconic awards. Would you care to just speak about them?
Well, it was kind of like winning the Grammy.
Yes.
So, first thing was it was unexpected. I really, my team and I, we were just doing our thing, right? We never expected to get those form of recognitions, and it was nice. It was great to have. And the funny thing, I think my team even loved it more than I did. Right? They asked me to put it in the office, in the walls. When guests come in, they see our walls and all of that. So we have a wall of fame in the office now.
That's good.
Yes, where we put all our awards, we put our people doing the most, team members that are doing fantastic. So the awards are fantastic.
Wow. I don't know whether you can care, because you know, I eavesdropped and listened in a bit, and I heard there are two iconic ones that you brought home. Do you want to mention one of it, or the two of them?
Well, so I think they were both great.
Yes.
You know, but growing up, I always my dad always had the Business Day newspaper. Yeah. Right. So every Sunday, I'm going to buy a Business Day newspaper for my dad. So winning that particular award was pretty the highlight of it all, because I was like, "That is your boy is doing this the most." This is good. And
happy of my boy. Absolutely. You know, one of your dreams is to have Patricia, you know, as a hub in every city in the world. That's you know, somebody might say, "Wow, that's a big goal." Maybe I should ask you why you would want to see that, and are you seeing like you're headed towards those directions?
Well, for one, I'm sitting next to you in Nairobi.
Absolutely. You're in Kenya.
Exactly. So that's a sign.
Yes.
Right. And so when I say I want to have Patricia in every city, so not necessarily physically.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I want to have Patricia being used in every city in the world.
You're right.
Right. So the ultimate goal for me is I want somebody somewhere in every city in the world to have a reason to use Patricia every single day.
All right. I feel like I'm converted already. So if that debit card is ready, I'm going to go home with it. I don't know. We unfortunately have to come to a close for this session. And I must say that this has been a very inspirational moment, but I want to give you a final parting shot to anybody watching and wondering, wow, that's quite something. What would be your last words to anybody watching?
Well, so I'd address the youngins. So I call youngins young people.
Absolutely.
Right. So I'd address the youngins. So yes, I'm 25, and I've been able to beat Patricia up until this point, you know, and I get asked a lot of questions. How do you do it? What do you do? How do you run a large company? And it's really not rocket science, I must say. So first things first is people always try to find the right idea. The one that will make them super rich, super famous. And there is nothing like the right idea. You see, before I started Patricia, I started 13 other businesses, 13 literally. And these businesses, they all failed on different levels. But these failures were the stepping stones to Patricia. And if Patricia did not even work out, I would have started on another 13 other businesses. Like I said earlier, I had 37 ideas at the time. It was 2015. So it's all about putting your best foot forward. It doesn't matter what it is. If you want to sell donuts, you want to sell popcorn, you want to sell noodles, I did all of that. Right? So it's really about taking your first foot forward, your best foot forward, and understand that even when you fail, right, you are not just failing, but you are failing forward. Right, you're picking up experiences from the last one into the next one, and before you go round 13, you see, the only thing we've been able to do successfully, every single person in this world, when we were born, we learned how to walk. Nobody really said this is how to walk, right? We all learned how to walk. We crawled, we fell, we stood up, and all of that, right? Yeah. And as a kid, as an infant, there were no naysayers. There was nobody telling you, oh, you can't walk, oh, you're too fat, oh, you're too this, oh, you're too that. Look around this room, everybody can walk, right? And we all learned how to walk by ourselves, right? So just put your best foot forward. It doesn't matter what you do, literally, right? As long as you're passionate about it, keep doing it. It will add up. You know, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backward. So even the negative experiences I have had, right, built me up to this point, and I wouldn't change my life for anything. So it's all a part of God's plan, like I call it. Right. But the most important thing is fail fast, fail forward, and pick whatever you want. Don't let the naysayers get to you.
My goodness, what a pattern shot. Fall forward, always keep going. I love that. And you know, that is Fejiro, Hanu, Agbodje, putting it as it is. Of course, founder of Patricia, and really doing amazing things right here in the continent. By the way, maybe as a pattern shot as well, the fact that you're in Nairobi, I want to believe that this is the other hub that is about to just pop out, isn't it?
It is actually. That's why I'm here.
Wow.